AI is creating a huge opportunity in the market for 2025. I've been covering for years now Nvidia, Tesla. I recently covered AMD. But I have some massive stocks that I want to cover today, which are going to put more money in your pocket. Because right now, I'm telling you, it's still the early innings for AI. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down, using some research, 3 different stocks that I think are going to continue to explode in 2025. And the fact is, these stocks are not only a good buy, but I'm also going to give you several option plays on these stocks. If you don't have any time, here's the quick summary in 30 seconds. All right, so the first one is AMD is at a key support level. This stock can't get any cheaper. It's unlikely to go below $120 per share, and I'm recommending the $100 call option, the 100 leap option, I should say, for September 2025. Next, I am betting that there's more upside on Tesla. Tesla has had some volatility. I've posted multiple Tesla videos. I have over $1 million in Tesla, and I think that their data advantage and their self-driving is going to make a lot of money in 2025, as well as the relationship between Elon and Trump. So Tesla is going to perform extremely well. I have a $500 price target. So I'm recommending that you buy Tesla as well as sell $400 put options. I would sell put options for March expiration. Next is Nvidia. I see some short-term weakness, but at the same time, I personally believe that the short-term weakness might be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but in the next quarter, this stock is going to be up, and I'm all about the long term. So I wouldn't wait on Nvidia. I would start purchasing Nvidia right now, because what's happening is the reason why it's had weakness is because of rebalancing. So the long-term trend is intact, and I'm going to be showing you an option play on Nvidia stock. And then to summarize the market, I think that many stocks, are between 32, 35 forward price earnings ratio, but that valuation is said to be expensive, but I think it's well within a norm on a long-term basis. Technology companies in the AI space are completely okay, and this is not a shockingly high valuation by no means, and I expect growth to continue, and AI will be a big dominating factor in 2025. So that's my summary. Now, if you do have some time, let me go into the full detail. By the way, I want to let you know that I do have a webinar on January 9th. This webinar is going to be very important. I'm going to cover all of my stocks and all my views and all my trades for 2025 in advance. So if you want to join that, check out the first link in the description. Let's now not waste any time, and let's jump into the first stock, which is AMD. So look, this is a very well-managed company, guys. AMD has fantastic leadership, very strong leadership, in fact, and that's what I look for when I invest in a company. AMD is actually at a very good support level. As you can see, AMD is $122 pre-market, but when the market opens up, look, I don't care what the short term is, all right? Stop looking at the short term. This is going to be $160 to $180 stock in the next 12 to 18 months. That's what matters, 12 to 18 months, okay? If I look at the options, I'm going to show you the $100 leap option that I'm recommending, because I think you want exposure into AMD on a long-term basis without necessarily having to invest all the capital up into it, right? So let's go to the September expiration, September 19. I'm telling you, I'm really pumped up about this stock. I'm buying it bicep over tricep, as you guys know. And I think, a $100 leap option is going to be a fantastic play. It's going for $32 here. If I expand the option, it has a 77 delta, very high delta. The volume isn't as high as I usually like, but this is a very good play, specifically because I think now is the time to buy AMD. There's a weird dynamic where basically AMD sells off whenever you see other tech giants doing well, specifically Nvidia. So the market is kind of pinning Nvidia against AMD. And as Nvidia experiences more success, there's like this really weird factor where people are like, okay, AMD is going to zero. Well, that's not really the case. That's not reality. And you see the same thing happening with Tesla and Uber. The higher Tesla goes, Uber goes down. It's a disproportionate, or should I say negative correlation. Negative correlation means one thing goes up, the other thing goes down, right? It seems like a zero-sum game, or a zero-sum pie, right? One company captures the pie, the other one declines. It doesn't really make sense, and I think AMD's has very strong support at 120. Listen, we can argue and say, the real support is at 115 or 110. I don't know. Again, I'm not a short-term investor, guys. All the clients I work with, I always have a 1-year goal, a 3-year goal, and a 5-year goal. We're not really going quarter to quarter. That's like some Wall Street short-term stuff. That's short-term crap, okay? I'm not looking at, let's predict a little day-to-day future. No. On a long-term basis, AMD is a no-brainer, and if you invest in AMD, you're going to have a piece of the AI pie, and they're collecting a lot of revenues. I mean, look at the tech sector overall. I'm estimating that we're going to get about 20% earnings growth in 2025, and AMD is going to continue to solidify its position as a leader, as one of the leaders. Okay, it's not the main leader, but as one of the leaders in the semiconductor industry, and they're going to be competing effectively and efficiently. Okay, those are two different things: effectively and efficiently versus the big guys. Nvidia being the specific one, and AMD's valuation remains very attractive compared to Nvidia. So I realize that this they have some stiff competition, but I also realize that the price to earnings multiple, the price to sales multiple, the valuation, the fundamentals, the everything about AMD is priced at a reasonable price. Okay, this stock is going for a good value, and that's why I think this $100 leap option is going to be a good investment. Now, if you have the cash to do it, and I do like to work with folks that have 50K, 100K portfolios because they can afford my coaching. If you have the cash to do so, sell puts, just sell puts. Leaps are a great strategy for that upside at a cheaper cost, right? But if you have the cash to do so, just keep it simple and run the wheel strategy. I have a whole entire wheel course. I'll pin it down in the description. You guys know I've came out with several courses that have been really fantastic, especially the selling puts course recently. I mean, just check it out. It was a couple days ago. And look, you want to just sell puts on AMD at 115 strike price is an easy no-brainer. You go for the March expiration. Now we're in January. We're in 2025, which, by the way, will likely be my last year. I'm going to be retiring as a coach. I won't be opening up any more spots for coaching because there's only so much scale I can have as a one-on-one coach, and I'll be doing other things. But I'm still here, so take advantage. Let's make as much money as possible, guys. As much money as possible. Reap all the rewards that the market has to offer. And then also you can retire yourself. And I think these three stocks that I'm going to cover, AMD, and we'll jump into the next one in just a second, will help you make millions if you have the size of portfolio, or at least get a lot faster into retirement. And again, AMD's valuation is fantastic, $100 leap. The demand is very clear, and I think they're going to capture the demand. So let's go into the next stock. This is going to be Tesla. Let me actually open up my Tesla position right now because I have Tesla in both my portfolios. I showed you in the other portfolio multiple times. I have $1 million that I invested there. I was up about $400,000. Now I'm up about $270,000. In this portfolio, I'm up $192,000. I was up a little bit over 200, but I have 1,000 shares here and 3,000 shares in my other portfolio. Obviously, I'm very bullish on Tesla. I have a huge position, and Tesla was a big contributor in 2021. How I made 100K to 700K, so I made a $600,000 profit. A lot of that was Tesla, not all of it. And this year again, or last year, or whatever, in the past quarter, I made at the peak about $500,000, and now I'm up 350K. So look, I don't even need the money. That's how much money there is. It's so easy to become a millionaire when you pick the right stocks, when you have the right knowledge, and my Tesla position is going to stay intact. I'm not going to change my Tesla position. I'm not going to sell. I'm getting I'm getting dramatic here because I think if you sell, you straight up have to look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself a dumbass because this stock, clearly Elon and Trump have a good relationship. Trump didn't even enter the office and you're telling me you're selling Tesla before he enters? You got to be out of your mind. You have no common sense. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's my opinion. I could be wrong, right? I haven't been wrong for many, many years, and my trading performance has been phenomenal, but I could be wrong. I'm only human, right? So look, why? Why am I so bullish? Well, I think it's important to explain this. Full self-driving has the potential to transform Tesla into a $500 plus stock in 2025. This is going to be eventually baked into the valuation. It's already kind of been baked in, but at $480 per share, it was baked in. Like, I won't lie to you, at $480, I was getting a little bit nervous. I'm like, how much can this last? But towards $400, now the stock is becoming cheap. So the valuation of Tesla is between $400 to $500. $400 would be the really low end with a huge margin of safety where I'd be super comfortable buying hand over fist, this stock like over and over again. It'd be easy to buy. And at $480, I was like, I should probably be doing some covered calls here to generate some income. I think Tesla's going to successfully deploy FSD, and when they do so, right, when it's fully locked and loaded and they're at full scale, okay, they're going to unlock a high profit margin revenue stream through software subscriptions and one-time purchases. This is going to significantly boost earnings, and it's all about money. It's all about money. That's all people care about. That's what everyone wants. It's the most competitive game in the world. I got tons of money, and I'm just telling you my opinion. Not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that has a lot of experience. When Tesla has full self-driving, the revenue will hit Tesla's bottom line like a freaking truck, okay? It's going to be hit like a truck, okay? And when that truck hits, everyone's going to say, wow, I want a piece of that good stuff. I want a piece of that honey. I want a piece of that Chipotle freaking guacamole, okay? People are going to go wild, and the stock's going to go above $500 per share. And then people are going to be like, Henry, is it too late to buy? Listen, before you ask me, is it too late to buy? Can we just use some common sense and buy it before you ask me? Is it too late to buy? Let's make a deal. Just get rich, okay? By buying early and hanging on to the trend. Stop jumping ship into what's the hottest, shiniest object. Stop doing that. Just hold what makes sense. Hold what has brand. Hold what has future cash flow that's going to be increasing. Hold where the economics make sense. Would you jump into an Uber? Okay, fears aside, okay, I understand a Tesla vehicle that drives itself is a little bit scary, but people will get used to it. Would you jump into an Uber with a person that's driving you from, let's say, from my hometown, like Philadelphia, from the center city to the northeast Philadelphia, right, where the Russian community is and the Ukrainians are? Would you go 45 minutes there for $80, or would you take a Tesla full self-driving vehicle for $27? Okay, tell me the economics don't make sense. They do make sense. So obviously they're going to dominate. They're going to make tons of money hand over fist, and it's going to be ridiculous. All right, so obvious play there, and yeah. Well, I told you what I'm doing with Tesla. 400 sell put, and then I think right now 475 covered calls is what I got going on. Let me scroll down here. Yeah, I got 475 covered calls. I made $12,000, and I'm holding shares, and I did do some covered calls that expire in like 2 weeks from now. So everything I do is posted on Discord, and all my one-on-one students get to see this live. So obviously I can't make live updates on YouTube. It takes time to edit videos. So yeah, first link in the description if you want coaching. Look, next stock is Nvidia. Nvidia's momentum is insane. Okay, it's had a little bit of a pullback, which has made people all twisted and scared and running for the hills. But honestly, just understanding Nvidia's future prospects, if you have half of logic going on, you'll understand that this is going to be a company that continues to dominate for every single reason you can imagine, whether it's gaming, whether it's healthcare. Give me a second. Let me just stick to my notes here. Beyond traditional cloud computing, AI adoption, and autonomous vehicles, Nvidia is going to be dominating healthcare and is going to have other sectors that they're going to grow in where the demand for their hardware is going to continue no matter what. I've seen some of my members, by the way, they've messaged me saying like, listen, Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, he said that we have enough chips. We don't need any more chips. We're not dependent on Nvidia no more. We don't need chips. Not that they're super dependent, but they were doing a lot of business with Nvidia. And I want to address this as a real concern that I have had and I thought about. It's the new year and I'm obviously planning other things, but I'm also looking at the market and I'm trying to understand where can I help my clients navigate the market. And a lot of people have shares of Nvidia. So this is nothing new. I've been covering Nvidia. So I was thinking, is it time to sell covered calls? Is it time to go a little bit more aggressive with leaps? What is it time for? What can I recommend? What kind of new plays can I have based on this new information coming into the market that we're going to have less demand from Microsoft, which is a pretty big deal because it's a hyperscaler, right? It's the Mag 7 hyperscaler, and they obviously spend millions and millions of dollars. Well, even if Microsoft reduces its Nvidia GPU purchases, demand from other hyperscalers, like the smaller providers or the Meta or Tesla and basically every single other company except for Microsoft now is still going to have demand. So let's think about it. If every other company still has demand but Microsoft doesn't, how much of an impact will that have on Nvidia? Well, it may have a small impact on Nvidia, but overall the supply from Nvidia will be absorbed by other industries within the smaller cap, the medium cap, and obviously the hyperscalers minus Microsoft. So is this new news a big deal? Well, it is a big deal in the short term, and it's going to affect the stock 2 to 3% because certain investors that got scared have sold off Nvidia. But in the long term, everyone who's already scared, who is a scaredy cat, has already basically sold off Nvidia, and that's why this stock is, has a little bit of a negative performance here, negative 2.8%. But over 3 months, we've had some stagnant returns, yet still 11% return. I would say that this is a no-brainer to do a 140 covered call for March, or you can sell 130 put options. And I made that course. You can look at what selling put options are and the optimal delta and all that and why I'm doing this. I'm trying to keep this video short as possible. Otherwise, it'll be too long. Listen, let me wrap this video up. While Microsoft is a key Nvidia customer, it represents only a fraction of Nvidia's shares, so I'm not concerned at all about that. And when looking at Nvidia, I'm really, really bullish personally about their gaming sector, where they're going to just sell a lot of GPUs. And I think that demand's going to come from esports. I do watch esports myself, actually. I watch League of Legends. I used to play that back in college. And if you look at, viewership from esports in general, it's growing like crazy. In the grand finale between T1 and Billy Gaming, they achieved a peak, an approximate viewership of 7 million people, roughly, right? 7 million people just watched this esports event, okay? So people are watching esports like real sports, and gaming really requires a lot of Nvidia. Okay, so that was actually my hypothesis and thesis back in college, which was like back in 2017 now, and I picked Nvidia as a company to invest in back when it was $120 per share before many splits. So at this point, it's probably had 1,000% return. Now I was broke in college, so I couldn't invest in Nvidia because I had no money, so I couldn't invest in it. But now I'm investing hand over fist into Nvidia. I think this is one of the top plays that I have, and they have so many use cases. Not just gaming, they have manufacturing, industrial automation, and financial services. Like all the financials need Nvidia. They need it for risk modeling, for fraud detection, for algorithmic trading, for data analytics. The list of applications goes on. So I'm going to end this video right now and just tell you to invest in these 3 stocks. Be smart about your investments. Have a fantastic 2025. I'll keep making as much content as possible, but this is probably the last year I'm going to be doing coaching. So if you're interested in coaching, go ahead, click the first link in the description. Subscribe to this channel. I hope I can retire with 1 million subscribers. I don't think we'll hit that. We'll hit that point this year, but I make content because I love making content. And have a happy, healthy 2025. I'll see you guys in the next one.